Oh yeah. How's it going, everybody? Happy Saturday. We made it to the weekend, guys. It's the weekend. And now we get to hang out and relax, talk about knives. You know, the fun stuff in life, the parts that we work all week to get to. And shout out to those of you who work on the weekends, because that used to be me. And I know what it's like, because they tell you, yeah, you get, a day off during the week, maybe 2 days off, somewhere within the week. And then you get to the weekend and everyone's enjoying theirs but you. I am very grateful that my regular day job gives me a regular weekend and that I have regular holidays off. Not having a regular weekend sucks, but not quite as bad as working on the weekends, working on the holidays. There we go. The holidays. Don't work on the holidays unless you absolutely have to. But a big shout out to absolutely everybody in the chat joining in on another Saturday. Shout out to, we got Steve Sweeney, channel member in the house, Crazy Roach, James Alton, Jim Miller, all channel members. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you a lot. And it's wait. There we go. You'd think that I get these things figured out before the live stream, things like having the viewer count up on the screen, making sure audio levels are good. You'd think, right? Shout out to Jay Korskinen, channel member once again. Thanks for joining the ranks of the channel members, Jay. Shout out to the Knight's Edge. We've got Humphrey Chimpton in the house. We've got Regular Joe Knife. Greg Vanderlip, another channel member. CPM, what's good, man? That's custom production mid-tech. Good to see you, man. I feel like it's been a minute. Knight's Edge says, Spidey week, almost. We're getting close. We're getting very close. Oh, man. And, something that I recently released as of, was it last night? I think it was last night. Time flies for me. We now have a channel members only Discord. What? Yeah. And I was thinking about it because I'm always trying to figure out what can I do to give back to the people that give to the channel, the channel members. For one, I only have one membership level. I made it as cheap as YouTube would let me, because I want being a member of this community, of the community that we're building here, to be something that's not, a big financial strain. It's like the cost of a cup of coffee. Maybe not with inflation. Maybe it's cheaper than that. But one of the things that I was excited to do was create a members only Discord, because I felt like it'd be really cool to offer something like a small community area for the members of the community, place where you could ask questions, you could talk freely with me. A lot of people hit me up on Instagram, but here's the deal. My Instagram is not a great place to hit me up. Generally speaking, I use it to communicate a lot with other manufacturers, other channels. And so messages often get buried there. But also, I get so many of them, it's hard to respond to absolutely every person. So if you want to correspond freely with me, wow, I can't talk today. If you want to correspond freely with me, check out the channel members only Discord, and I'll show that here in a little bit. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Anyways, how do you get to the channel members only Discord? Go to my channel on YouTube, go to the community tab, and I linked it there. And it's linked so only channel members can see it, because it's a members only Discord so far. Who knows? Maybe we change that in the future, but for now it's just channel members only. What did you carry today? I'll show you what I carried. Among other things, I carried this. This is my modified Spyderco smock, and I've got so much love for this knife. I went ahead and switched out the clip. One of the best parts of having like 4 or 5 different Spyderco aftermarket clips is that these clips work on like all the knives. And I just decided that based on the ano work, this Lynch Northwest anodized titanium pocket clip actually works the best on my Spyderco smock with the smock custom scales. So much love for this knife. And it's one of those knives that I have to be very careful with because it will just live in my pocket. I carried it yesterday, carrying it today. It's a button compression lock, which is honestly the best compression lock and the best button lock. I'm mad that Spyderco is they're an American-made company that people rally behind. And we ask for new stuff all the time. And then they give us, like, oh, here's a paramilitary 2, but in a new steel. Come on. And I know there's a lot of Spyderco fanatics out there that have like 15 paramilitary 2s, but in different steels. And they're like, this is also a paramilitary 2, but this one has brown G10. What I'd love to see is Spyderco go back to the things that make us love Spydercos. Things like making the compression lock better. I mean, it's an amazing lock. Why can't we get more of these button compression locks? Why do we have to rely on Vosteed and other companies to do this work for them? That's embarrassing. If I was Eric Glesser, I'd be embarrassed. These other companies are exceeding with our lock design better than we are. Shame. For shame. As a huge fan of Spyderco, I'm embarrassed on their behalf that they haven't done more button style compression locks. I think that it's just a crying shame. But that's what I carried today. And here's a cool thing. If you want your pocket check, if you want your carry to be featured on a live stream, I'll show you where you can actually go to check that out. Wait for it, and boom. So to start things off, this is the channel Discord for members only. So if you want to be part of the Discord community for this channel, I'm going to have several things on here, several little text channels where, for example, you can hang out and chat. You can see the latest channel content. I'll be posting a lot of things like knife drops and arrivals here. Have you ever got in late on a knife drop and like, dang, I wish I had known. This is one of those places where I can share things because I keep my finger on the pulse. I like to share those things with people because even if I can't buy it, maybe someone else can, and maybe that's something they've been waiting for, and it gives them the opportunity to do that. So I'm going to start posting things that I notice here, cool new knives, stuff like that. Also, live stream featured questions. If you want a question or a comment to be featured on the live stream, if you join the Discord, if you're a channel member, you can post it here and I'll answer it live. How about that? How about that? I felt like that would be fun. A guaranteed way to make sure that your comment gets highlighted. It could be anything, absolutely anything. Even if it's a negative comment, I will read it live. Although I hope that I wouldn't get too many of those. You never know. But also pocket checks. If you want your pocket check to be featured, just pop on over to the pocket check and I will share it live on the live stream. So yeah, just something that I thought would be fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, but I took some pictures of my carry today. So my carry today was more than just this smock, but this is the main knife. I've also got the Miami Vice QSP Hedgehog. I've got I love this flashlight too. This is a flashlight that I should talk about more. This is the Nightcore MT2A Pro. Hate the letter model thing that they do for the naming convention, but it's such a great, simple little EDC flashlight. It's got 3 modes and you just switch through them with half clicks. It's got a decent amount of throw, double clip, so you can clip it to your hat, you can clip it to your shirt, your pocket, whatever, and rechargeable, removable battery. I like that. It's the U High 20 LED, so it's got a decent amount of throw. my watch, and then of course my Ironsmith duality coin. So yeah, that was my carry today. If you want your carry to be featured on my live streams, post them there. I'll feature it. You don't have to be a photographer, just share what you're carrying. All right. Hey, welcome in, Ginger Fisher. Good to see you, brother. We got Mr. Prosthetic as well. I didn't say hi to you yet. He says, well, he says, how's it going, nerds? How's it going, man? Good to see you. So yeah, I'm excited to make this this Discord community great. I would say great again, but this is new, so you know, it hasn't been great yet, but it will be. Hopefully, we'll see. Maybe people use it. Maybe nobody uses it. Maybe I just talk to myself. Please don't put me in that position. I already have an overactive brain. I talk to myself a lot as it is. Shout out to Pretty Fly for a Knife Guy. He says, what's up, Rollshambo and everyone? What's up yourself, man? Good to see you. Welcome in. The Night's Edge says, I have a Spyderco swayback arriving Monday and a Fenrir arriving sometime next week. Very nice. Very nice. Concept Fenrir, fantastic knife. It's a Greg Schaub design. Sparrow Knife Co. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right. Greg Vanderlip says, smash that like button. Yeah. Dude, hit the like button. Let YouTube know that we're live on a Saturday, because everyone shows up for the Wednesday live streams, but we're still building the Saturday live streams. It lets YouTube know that we're here. I definitely appreciate it. Something that I thought would be fun today would be to check out some retailers to see what they got going on that we don't normally check out. Normally I check out, Blade HQ and White Mountain Knives, some DNK knives. But there's a couple that have some pretty good stuff. For example, this is Knives Ship Free. I like free shipping. They're a pretty good retailer, and I know many of you already know of them. But they're going to carry a lot of American-made knives, a lot of popular brands: Spyderco, ZT, GEC, Chris Reeves, Benchmade, who is floundering. Benchmade. I don't know what they expected, man. Benchmade is getting the worst. Benchmade is getting the worst press right now because they continue to raise their prices. Like 2023 came and we were like, come on, man, the prices are too high. And then the diehard Benchmade fans came in and said, no, but they have like the Sharp for Life program or whatever their warranty is called. It's worth it because of the warranty. Stop it, Benchmade. And then 2024 is here. And what did they do? Another price hike. And now even Benchmade hardcore fans are like, yeah, I like the ones that I already have. I think I'll just stay with these for a while. Lord, good Lord. What exactly, is Benchmade in trouble? Do they have financial problems? Or they're like, we have to raise the prices or we're going under? Do they truly think that they can keep up this charade of inflation? I don't own a single Benchmade. Not a single one. No. They need to do better. They need to figure out what they want to do. The Night's Edge says, Rollshambo, check out Arizona Custom Knives. Yeah, I've been there a couple times before. They've usually got some good offerings, sometimes more on the more expensive side of things. So Arizona Custom Knives. But for example, I've seen Hinderer half tracks here. Right now, if you've got $12,000, you can buy the Super Matrix R with meteorite inlays, gold engraving by Jody Mueller. Oh man, it's a Marfione custom, 12 grand. Who's got does anyone in the chat have 12 grand to spend on this knife? How long is this going to be available? I get it. Some knives are custom. Some knives are uber rare. 12 grand? Who's buying this knife? And can I come over for lunch? All right, we got some action going on here in the Discord. Let's check it out. So this is what the Knight's Edge is carrying right here. Oh, very nice. Got some Spyderco action. I like it. I like it a lot. Is that a backlog lock that you are flicking open with authority? I didn't know their backlocks had that kind of action. I'm not really usually a backlock guy, but that's cool. I like it. James Alton is carrying the Blue Pyrite Enthusiast and the Case Blue Corncob Jig Barlow. Very sweet. Let's see. Ooh, we got... So I don't know who in the chat is D-Truth, but that is nice. That is nice. Check that out. That's the Sparrow Strix, the production Strix with the raw titanium handles. I want one of those. I need to get my hands on one of those. I know that they're doing a drop. Like, what is it, on like the 1st? Did it already happen? I'll have to look. And then the QSP Hedgehog, that's the traditional pocket knives exclusive with the jig, the full jig titanium. And you know, I've got a TPK one too. I already showed it in my pocket check, but check this out. You see that? That is a Duty's Daggers custom leather slip, black with red stitching. If you want one from him, hit him up on Instagram, Duty's Daggers. He will make one for you. And then this is mine with the Miami Vice titanium. And the thing about the Miami Vice titanium is that it has colors, but it shifts. It's got dimension. I considered the jig titanium because I'm a whore for titanium, but ultimately I really liked the Miami Vice fat carbon. That's sweet though. Love the fact that TPK did that. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is actually the traditional pocket knives exclusive specific jigging on the handle scale. I think they did that for the QSP Penguin, where it's like an in-house jigged pattern. So pretty cool. Love it. And you know what? I actually have that same Hank. How about that? D-Truth. I dig it, man. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing. We'll get it going, guys. We're going to get the pocket checks going on the Discord. I'm excited for it. Oh, before I forget, so many of you have asked me in the past, like, hey, can I have the Steel Snobs comparison tool? You know, it's very useful if you are serious about your knife steels and you want to just know like how certain steels rank based on Dr. Laren Thomas's own knife rating system. If you go to the Steel Snobs comparison channel on the Discord, check this out. Here at the very bottom, you can download it. You can have it. I'm giving it away to channel members, and it's hosted right here. You just got to go there and download. I've done posts on the YouTube community before, but the problem with those is that then I have to host the file on an outside website, and they limit the amount of people who can download it before they just make the link inactive. So the best part about this being on the Discord is that now it's just there. It's there, and you don't have to worry about it. You just go there and check it out. So if you want my knife steel comparison tool, it's yours. It's on the Discord. Knight's Edge says, I own the Griptilian. I love it, but I'll likely never buy another. You know, there is one benchmade that I've always wanted, and I'll probably have to get it on the secondhand market, but I want a benchmade 940 Osborne. That's the one that I want. And then I want to put some rock scale design contoured handle scales on it for the titanium. That's what I want. That's the benchmade that I want. Bob Dakima says, I want a Strix so bad. Dude, me too. Where were we? We were on Arizona Custom Knives. They've got some sweet pieces here. I guess this explains the custom in their name. Check that out. A full dress mini roadster, Peter Carey design. You know what I love about custom knife makers is that you can see who's influenced them. Are you seeing the influence in this Peter Carey design? Well, shout it out if you know, if you have a feeling you know who I'm referring to. I'll give you a hint. That blade has a similar design as the Eagle Rock. Edgy American, what's good, brother? Welcome in. He says, my Rollshambo senses were tingling. Well, if it tingles too much, you should probably see a doctor. It's not supposed to burn like that. Bill Doyle says they just did a drop Thursday night and was sold out in 5 seconds. Are we talking about the Strix? I knew that was going to happen. I knew. Bob Dakima says, for 12 grand, think of all the guns I can buy. Never do that math. Like, for example, you start looking at all the knives in your collection. You're like, that costs that much. That costs that much. That costs that much. And you start adding up the costs. And you're like, if I just saved my money, I probably could have, paid off my mortgage or bought a second house. That's a dangerous game to play. Be careful. Mr. Prosthetic says, they brought back my very first quality knife. That thing was almost $300 in the year 2000. It must be $1,000. No, I believe it. All right. So for the longest time, and I still want one, I want a Hinderer half track. And for the longest time, I could only find them here on Arizona Custom Knives. I think they've all sold out since then. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more half tracks, but for a while there, they had a whole gang of them. But retailers like this are often the key to finding those knives that are generally unavailable or sold out at other retailers. So I have gone here a couple times. Never purchased from here. Usually the knives that I've seen here are a bit more expensive than what I'm trying to spend. But if you're looking for some custom knives, this is definitely a good place to go. They also have knives that are not custom. But when you start shopping in places like this, you'll start to become way more accepting of prices that are really high. Look at that. Strider SMF Texas Murder Buoy. What? Oh, man. Recently sold, too. I like it. That looks pretty great to me. Another good place is GP Knives. GP Knives is pretty underrated in my opinion. They have a really good selection. And they have these. So Hogue recently released the Misto, and the Misto is one that I've talked to a couple friends with channels, and they really like it. Is it a benchmade bug out killer? Maybe. At $330, it better be, but check this out. You might be thinking, but you can get a bug out for less than that, or marginally less than that. Yeah, but that bug out isn't going to have titanium handle skills. If this was made by Benchmade, this would be $500+. Shout out to Hogue for keeping it realistic on the prices. Like, yes, it's $330, but it's American-made titanium with the crossbar style lock. Is it just me, or is this knife a direct shot across the bow of the Benchmade bug out? Or the Benchmade bailout? Like, it seems pretty intentional. They're like, oh, you like a bug out? Oh, you want titanium? You want an American made? We've got you. Come over here to Hogue. We're what Benchmade used to be, but we're not going to charge you $500+ for it. Top Dog says, so this is what Rollshambo looks like on a Saturday afternoon. Welcome in, man. Good to see you. Channel member, channel moderator, Top Dog. Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. And I think I heard some more action here in the Discord. Here we go. Ooh. Knight's Edge he's got another one to share. Is that a smock scale? Who does that scale? Is that Smock? I love that. Spyderco Smock is one of my favorite Spyderco knives of all time. It really is. Where did I put mine? I literally just had it. I'm gonna have to find that here in a bit. But the the Spyderco Smock is great. It's fantastic design. And you know what? Shout out to the Knight's Edge for gifting 5 memberships. Get in on that Discord action, guys.
This is Sparta!
Hey, brother, thank you so much for your generosity. That really does mean a lot. And welcome into the new or returning connoisseurs and collectors. If you want that Discord, check out the community tab on my YouTube channel. It's there posted for members. Tori Casey says action is meh. On the are we talking on the Misto? I've got it on good authority that it's actually pretty good, but I haven't tried one yet. I feel like I'm going to need to try one. I like the fact that you get American made titanium with the axis lock. With MagnaCut, you know, I love seeing MagnaCut, especially knowing that Hogue is doing the MagnaCut right. Like, check this out. The Rockwell hardness, they have it listed 62 to 64. That's what we're talking about. Give us an American made steel with the right heat treat, with titanium handle scales. Like 300. I want you guys to consider something. If I were to just tell you titanium, MagnaCut properly heat treated, axis lock, and American made, you're probably thinking $400, $450, $500, $330 for that is, in my opinion, fair for American made pricing. We've spent more on Spyderco G10. Call a spade a spade. That's great. That's, in my opinion, what the benchmade Narrows should have cost. Hey, we got Fibbit a bit. Welcome in, brother. Good to see you. The Knight's Edge says it's Nuke Blue Anno from Kevin and Tracy Smock. Nice. I had a feeling, I was like, that seems like a Kevin Smock scale. The Smock family is so cool. Something that I probably shouldn't talk about because they don't like getting blown up about this is when they initially, when I bought these scales, I did a video showing off the scales, and they appreciated it so much that they reached out and they said, hey, send us your address. We'd like to send you a gift as a way of saying thank you for showing off our scales. And they sent me some of their custom bearings. Like, they make these bearings, and they typically only put them on their custom knives, like the SK23. But they work with the regular Spyderco Smock, and that was pretty cool of them. This is some of the best action in my collection because of those bearings, and I really, really like that and appreciate that. But they're cool people. Please don't bug them about their bearings. It's one of those things that makes the knife very unique. All right, we've got some more pictures in here. Let's go. James Alton with the blue. I recognize that pyrite. Yeah. Did you you bought that from me during the sale? Right on, man. I'm glad to see it's getting some use. It feels so much more different. The funny thing about this pyrite with the titanium scales is that it feels different than a regular pyrite. It's lighter, but it feels premium. The action feels smoother. I don't know why. I literally sat there for like an hour with both the steel pyrite and the titanium pyrite, and I just fidgeted with them because I couldn't get it out of my head, the fact that they felt different. I did a blind test. They feel different, and the titanium version definitely feels more premium. I like that blue corncob jig Barlow too. That's pretty sweet. I'm not going to commit to getting into slip joints heavily, but I'm not going to boycott them like I used to. Like, this is the start of an era for me where I start to accept that even non-locking knives can be good and enjoyable to carry. So don't be shocked if you see more slip joints on the channel in the future. Hey, shout out to Dwayne Letterman. Welcome in, man. Good to see you. All right. Here we go. Jim Miller. Is that a crispy donut community knife? I recognize those sprinkles anywhere. It's a crispy donut community everything. That's fantastic. I love that. We got the fixed blades. We got the 2 folders. We got the pouch, the O-knife pouch. It says jimping ain't easy. I need that. I need to get me one of those. That's awesome. Maurice Knifeman says, feet my feet. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what that means, but we're going to rock with it anyways. Pretty Fly says, slip joints have a place and a purpose, just not for hard use. 100%. Best thing about knives and there being such a wide variety is that you can truly carry multiple knives for multiple reasons. You know, there's a lot of times where I want to use my knife in public, but I don't want to like intimidate people. Because let's just be honest, there's a lot of snowflakes out there that melt the first time you show them a Midgards messer. Like, oh my gosh, we're going to be under assault. You know, no one's going to say that. You know, you pull out a slip joint like this, no one's got a problem with it. This is the knife they remember their grandpappy carrying. Absolutely nobody. This is a socially acceptable knife to carry in all situations. Even gentlemanly, you could say. All right. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Oh yeah. Hey, welcome in, Todd Carr. Good to see you, bro. I don't know. I don't think I've said hi today. Hi. Yeah, I'm excited about the Misto because of what it represents. Whether or not you like the lock is a whole different point, but the fact that we're getting this at $329, I think, is a direct shot at Benchmade fans saying, come on over here to Hogue. You don't have to pay these Benchmade absurd prices. We got you. But check this out. GP Knives has a Chris Reeves large and cozy blasted natural micarta. That looks great. Remember when it was hard to find the Chris Reeves knives in stock anywhere? What was that, 2020, 2021? It's a different time. Mr. Prosthetic says, slip joints have a place and a purpose. It's just not in my pocket or cutting my apple. Just kidding. I'm all right with Grandpappy's knife. Oh, that's funny. Jim Miller says, I flipped my Ziphius out in the church fellowship hall to open some cookies for a child. Kid's mom nearly died. She's like, cover your eyes, son. It's a weapon in church. Freaking snowflakes. Knives are tools. Knives are tools. And I've had this conversation with people where they're like, why are you carrying so many weapons? I'm like, weapons? What do you mean? I'm not attacking anybody. A knife is a tool. I mean, shoot, if you want to have that, they're like, well, you know, you can kill someone with a knife. I'm like, you can kill someone with a car. Have you seen the interstate? You probably kill far more people with a car than you can a knife. Weapon. Stop it. Stop it. I mean, yes, some knives are weapons and some knives are built specifically to be weapons, but most knives are not. However, to the uninitiated, a lot of people do see them as only weapons. Like I was watching a news blip the other day where it was talking about a guy that he was found out to be a serial killer in his local community, and everyone was shocked except for one person. The one person was like, well, he was a knife, like I had red flags because I saw he had a lot of knives. I'm like, does that make me a suspect? Don't look in my office. Just don't look there. They're like, we should have known because of the amount of knives that he had. Like, that's not an indicator. Get a mental health check, people. The Night's Edge says, I'm going to use my Fenrir to cut apples at my kid's 3rd grade PTA meeting. Do it. And have no regrets. Do it. It's a tool. It's a tool. Tori Casey says, Roll, completely agree with you on the Misto. That's exactly why I bought it. Just not quite me when in hand, but I'm the guy who sent back a stitch because I hated it. I'm particular in either. I don't know if I read that correctly, but when you're spending hundreds of dollars on a knife, don't keep it if you don't like it. Send it back. If it's not for you, it's not for you. The beauty of this hobby is that there are plenty of knives out there that are 100% going to scratch that itch. That is going to make you happy, that you're going to enjoy carrying. Life's too short. Our bank accounts are too low to hold on to knives that we don't enjoy 100%. And we, of course, have the right to disagree. I don't know about the Misto because I haven't tried it yet. But I'm really looking forward to checking one out, and I'm going to make it a point to check one out this year. I don't know when. I don't know how. Maybe, actually, I know how. Do they have these at Blade Ops? Because they asked me if I wanted to borrow anything else. And I said I would check out their inventory. I love Blade Ops, guys. Blade Ops is great. And they're also very supportive of the knife community in general. Do they have a Misto? No Misto. I guarantee they will at some point, though. What do they have from Hogue? I bet you they have Decas, and they've got the OTF knives, and they've got the SIG K320, which I've always wanted to try out. They've got some Hogues. I've got Hogues. If you know that song, it's not weird. Let's see. What's up, Fook Doozle? We got another channel member in the house. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining our Saturday live. Top Dog says you could still cut apples with any cold steel. Yeah, like the Espada XL. A huge hit at all the local PTA meetings. Show them you mean business by carrying your cold steel Voyager to Little Timmy's PTA meeting. Do it. Nothing like a parent-teacher conference with Lynn Thompson in the house. Jim Miller says, new family, nobody else paid attention except for those wanting to see my knife. Nice. Don't you love it when a knife is the icebreaker, though? And they're like, oh, that's really cool. I haven't seen something like that before. Where did you get it? How much did you spend? And then you tell them, and they're like, that's a lot. That's something that you always hear when you show off one of your knives to non-knife people is, even if it's like an $80 knife, which is not necessarily budget to a lot of people, but it's still reasonable, like within the community. Even if you show someone an $80 knife, they're like, I can't believe you spent that much on a pocket knife. Grandpappy's pocket knife cost like 25 cents. He bought it when he got gas for his old Model T that cost 15 cents to fill up. I'm like, you know what? I'm done justifying. There's no need to justify. If you like it, that's good enough. Night's Edge says, I like trimming my fingernails with the Midgard Messer Viking and staring at people directly in the eyes as they walk through my booth at Applebee's. Oh, man. That's fantastic. For me, the most egregious thing that I've done is I got mail at work one day, because for a while there I was working like a hybrid schedule where I was in office and then the other rest of the week I was working from home. And I got some, there was a box that they needed opening. And they're like, does anyone have a knife? Which is, of course, my cue to raise my hand. I'm like, yes, I have a knife. But I wasn't just carrying any knife. I was carrying my Midgards Thunrar, which is this guy. I was carrying this guy. And they're like, oh, can I borrow it? I'm like, no, but I'll open the box for you. Instant conversation starter. The funny thing is that only like 1 or 2 people were afraid of this knife. And I found out that my boss's boss was actually a bit of a knife fanatic too. And they're like, you know what? That's really sweet. Maybe don't whip it out in the office. I'm like, you know what? Not whipping it out in the office is generally a good strategy. So yeah, that's my office story. Top Dog says, true, 25 cents used to get a lot of knife. What was budget back then? Like, you know, just talk to the local blacksmith. See if he can hammer one out for you. Who knows? That's before my era. Pretty Fly says, I pulled out my shaman at the vape store a couple weeks ago. I tried to hand it to the employee and he didn't even want to touch the knife. People are weird about it. They're so weird about it. It's like, don't make it awkward. Todd Carr says, the last doctored office carry Leatherman Surge, Gerber Dime, and Shard SD Classic 3-inch carabiner knife, Cold Steel 4 Max Scout, the Kaiser Escort, Benchmade Mini Freak, 5th Pocket, Artisan Sea Snake, and a couple of O-Lights. Man, that's quite the doctor's office carry. Other stuff and accessories. Cargo pants. You'd have to be wearing cargo pants. I need to get some. Does anyone have any recommendations for good cargo pants? All right, we got some more photos. And the Night's Edge sharing some good stuff over here. Let's see. Is this a Spyderco collection? I think so. All right, so we got that looks like a Yojumbo. We got quite the Spyderco collection there. I like it. Got the Shaman, Manix 2. Is that a Manix 2 lightweight? It might just be the angle. I like it. Spyderco Drunken. Yeah. I might be mislabeling some of these. It's the angle. That's awesome though. But yeah, guys, if you want your pocket check or just your knife photos in general to be shared on the live stream, head on over to the Discord, post it in the Pocket Check channel. Why not? And then also, for those of you who may have come in a little bit late, if you want my Steel Snobs comparison sheet that I use in my Steel Snobs videos, which I am planning on continuing. I haven't done a Steel Snobs video in a minute. We're going to do more. And the next one I'm going to do is going to be on one of everyone's favorite steels. And we're going to get down to business on it. But if you want to use the sheet, which, you know what? Let me pull it up over here. I'll pull it up on my end and I'll show you guys what you can get if you want it. Let's do, where did it go? Here it is. All right. I'm looking for it in another screen. Boom. There we go. So I'm going to show you guys how to use this, because last time I shared it with people, some were kind of confused on how this works. So this is the knife steel rating, and the usefulness of this tool is that you can directly compare as many steels as you want. These are not my ratings. These are the ratings that you can find on the Knife Steel Nerds website. If you're good with Microsoft Excel, you can actually make this sheet yourself. But what it does is each one of these columns, for example, the steel, the toughness, the edge retention, the corrosion resistance, is sortable, meaning that you can sort by the steel, you can sort by toughness or edge retention or corrosion resistance. The best way to use this, in my opinion, is when you're trying to compare 2 steels, or 3 steels, or 4 steels, or however many you want. So if you click on each column, you can get this drop down and it'll show you what you can sort by. And these are all the steels that it rates. So I would hit select all, hit OK, and boom, here's all of the steels. Just to make sure that absolutely all of them are selected. I'm just going to select all on each category. So if I wanted to say compare, let's say that I'm looking at a couple knives and I like them both equally, but I want the absolute best steel for me. Or maybe you see a knife that you really like, but you live in a humid environment and you don't know necessarily if it's a corrosion resistant type steel. You could use this tool to help figure that out. So if you're like, you know what, I've got this, there's this knife that I really like it, but it's in K390. I don't know much about K390. Everyone talks about its edge retention, but I want to know if it's going to perform well. I live in Florida on the coast. You could go here and you could actually sort by K390 and you could see specifically how that's going to stack up. Where is K390? There it is. And you're like, you know what? I really like my LC200N. It works good. It's never rusted on me. You could compare those 2 steels. Be like, okay, look, K390 has decent toughness and really good edge retention. But the corrosion resistance isn't that good. Wow, that's why my LC200N has never rusted on me, because it's rated really highly for corrosion resistance. But I do want better edge retention. So you could do that. You could compare 2 steels. You can compare as many as you want. And all this is Dr. Laren Thomas's knife steel ratings for these 3 categories, but you can sort through them and directly compare. So it's a comparison tool, and that's what it's meant to be. I use this information pretty frequently when I do my Steel Snobs videos. And so yeah, there it is, guys. You asked for it. People ask for it all the time. Here it is. If you want it, you got to be a channel member. It's on the Discord. Hey, shout out to Barbarian Brawny. Welcome in. He says, wait, you got a Discord? Hit me with that link, dude. It's a channel members only Discord. If you become a channel member, the link is posted in the YouTube community tab. Jim Miller says, my doctor's son is a knife nut. We're everywhere. We just don't broadcast this in general public. You know, we don't walk across the street like, hey, I'm a huge fan of knives. Probably so people don't think that we're nuts. Maybe we just wear shirts, right? Just get the shirt that says, you know, got detent. How's your detent? We could make it friendly. Maybe I should start doing shirts. I don't know. The Night's Edge says that's a handy chart. Yeah, it's great. Oh, and by the way, for those of you guys who want to join the Discord, you don't have to remain a channel member to stay on the Discord. Once you accept if you're, let's say that you just decide that you want to become a channel member this month. It's not like I'm going to kick anybody out next month who doesn't renew their channel membership. You just have to be a channel member at some point and click on the link and accept the invite link from the YouTube community. So you don't have to remain a monthly member to take advantage of that. Hey, we got Heavy Metal Carry in the house. He says, what's up, bro? What's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being a channel member. Hey, we got Joe Isabella in the house as well. He says, what's up, all you beautiful people? I didn't get a notification. That's it. I don't know why YouTube does that. Like, people will actually click on the notification bell and say, yes, notify me. And then they're like, no. How about no? Why did they do that? They're freaking YouTube. I'm glad that you found us anyways. Remember, live every Saturday, 1:30 Mountain Standard Time. and then again on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm really hoping to build the Saturday live streams. But while we've got it up, did anyone have any knife steel comparison requests? Let me know. We'll go over it live. The Night Edge says, your girlfriend likes my detent. My significant other doesn't even know what a detent is. Jim Miller says, try explaining jimping ain't easy. In church, no less. Well, you see, Father, it's a play on the initial term pimpin' ain't easy. Maybe don't. Maybe just be like, you know what? It's a knife community thing. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. Todd Carr says, for me, I've been carrying a multi-tool since I was 15, feel naked without one. Use it quite frequently as well, and love the tool set on the Leatherman Surge I got 4 years ago. They're so useful. I had a Leatherman multi-tool for a long time, and I lost it. I wish I hadn't, because it's probably considered a classic now. Welcome in, Ant. He says, yo, everyone, just going to listen in as I do other stuff. Hope you're all having a good weekend. Dude, it's fantastic. You know what? It's a beautiful day here in Colorado. Like, we've got some good weather going on. We went through that flash freeze that froze over like half the country. We went through that. It was like -11, -12 for 3 or 4 days. And now we're back to the good weather. Have you ever gone through those cold stretches where it gets in the negatives and then it bumps up to like 25 degrees and you're like, oh, this is shorts weather. Yeah. So it's like 45 degrees here and it actually feels great. But yeah. You know what steel I would love to see more of? Honestly, I'd love to see more Vanax. Vanax is such a cool steel, but we don't see it produced that often. Let me give you an example. Vanax. We'll compare Vanax to... what would be a good one to compare it against? You know what? Let's compare it against MagnaCut. Why not? Why the freak not? Vanax. There we go. So Vanax is rated to have a 5 toughness, 5.5 edge retention, and 10 corrosion resistance. If we were to compare that to MagnaCut, boom, check this out. It's more corrosion resistant than MagnaCut. It's rated at least at like 60 HRC. It's rated to have better edge retention. And it's got decent toughness. In my opinion, I think that MagnaCut, and keep in mind, guys, I'll say this about MagnaCut, and I actually asked Laren Thomas directly about this. I said, hey, how come everyone raves about MagnaCut's edge retention, but you rated it rather low? And Laren told me, he said, well, the Rockwell hardness, when I did the rating, was at 60 HRC. And if you were to bump that up to 62 or 63, you would actually get much better edge retention than what I rated it at. And I asked him at that time, I said, hey, does that affect the toughness? And he said, no. And the reason why not is because it is similar to S35VN, where the harder it gets, it actually does increase in toughness up to a certain point. That point at which you get the most optimal toughness and edge retention is about 63 HRC, which is why I love the fact that Hogue is now doing MagnaCut at 63, because you're getting better toughness than what's rated here and better edge retention. The corrosion resistance does drop off a little bit, but it's still pretty corrosion resistant, even at the higher HRC. So Vanax is very impressive because you get decent toughness, decent edge retention, and superior corrosion resistance. And if you wanted to say, you know, put that up against what, M390? Check this out. Boom. It's more corrosion resistant than M390. It's tougher than M390. M390 does have the edge on edge retention, but VanX is a super, super useful, well-rounded super steel. I'd love to see it on more knives. I think Kunwu is doing more in VanX. We're seeing that We Knife Company is doing some more in VanX. That's pretty cool. I just want to see more VanX. Can we get some more VanX, please? Sounds like I'm asking for like a sleep aid or something. VanX? Can I have some? Yeah, you know what? Oh, you're drowsy? Take a VanX. Where do they come up with these names? The Night's Edge says, my Padre got that VanX. Yes, it does. Kunwu does a great job on their VanX too. Jim says it was 60 here, was 75 yesterday, 25 last week. Yeah, the weather has significantly improved. Ant says, dude, why do you need that much corrosion resistance in Colorado? It's dry out there. I don't. I actually am fine with steels like M4. But what's great about corrosion resistance is that it's not just, how much will the knife rust? Like, yes, that is the main part, but corrosion resistance also has to do with its deterioration over time. I would highly suggest that people look into Dr. Laren Thomas's work, because he talks about corrosion resistance as an integral piece of the composition pie, because corrosion resistance can actually lend to better toughness and better edge retention over time, because they all affect each other. It's more than just how rust resistant is it. Like, yes, that is the main part, but how it reacts and how it affects the knife's viability over time, and things like the edge apex is really, really interesting. I nerd out over these things. I go down these rabbit holes, and 2 hours have gone by. I'm like, yeah, what happened to my day? Oh, yeah. Will S says, it does say something that Spyderco is releasing a number of salt editions using MagnaCut. They probably won't goof up the heat treatment. Yeah. So I watched Spyderco's interview with Blade HQ for SHOT Show. And something that I thought was really encouraging is that Eric Glesser said, we know people have been asking us for MagnaCut. It's taken us so long because we've been trying to get the heat treat right. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. And I appreciate that, because Spyderco has a reputation when it comes to their heat treats, especially for the premium steels. They have a reputation. And this is why their heat treats are always the best, the most consistent as far as production work is concerned, because they take the time. If they're not convinced that they can produce a steel at with the correct heat treat, they're just not going to do it. And that's why it's taken them so long to come out with knives in MagnaCut. Yes, they had the Mule team in MagnaCut, but that was kind of to test things out and see what people thought. And so now we can have full confidence that the MagnaCut that we're going to get from Spyderco is going to be pretty damn good. All right. Jim Miller says, give him a certified badass.
Certified badass.
One more time.
Certified badass.
I love the sound effects. I really do. Barbarian Brawny says, I got one VanX blade. It's the Fox Yaru. I've heard of that. Which one is it? Yeah, here we go. It's a good looking knife. You know what this is? This a Vox? Is this a Vox design? Yeah, Jesper Voxnays. I was about to say that looks like a giant mouse knife. That's why it's Jesper Voxnays. He's got a very, very specific look, and deployment hole. It's a cool knife. $219. This one's an M398. That's another good steal. Where's the one in Van Axe? M398. Is it the older ones? No, that's S90V. I don't know. S90V? You have a Van Axe Yaru? Damn. Maybe it's a different exclusive. Knife Center, maybe? No. Fox, Yaru, Van Axe. Now I gotta find it. Yeah, here we go. Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Hey, that's a good looking knife. With the purple haze fat carbon, $200. Van Axe, there you go. If you wanted a knife with Van Axe and you like purple haze fat carbon,
certified badass.
There we go. I like it. Do they list the Rockwell hardness? No, they do not. I just wish we could make that a normal thing. Can we list the Rockwell hardness? Obviously, the knife nerds care about these things. What is this? An MKM Van Axe Purple Haze? It's the Vincent folding knife? Look at all that belly. Yeah, I like that. That looks great. I like that. Still no Rockwell hardness, but it is made with Van Axe super clean. That's nice. All right, guys. Ant says Italians go soft on all steels, and that's why I'm nervous about the Spyderco Spyderco, because it's made by Lion Steel and it's M398. I really hope they don't go soft on that. If we get a soft Spyderco, it still might be worth buying if you are a collector, because they're only going to make 2,000 of those Spyderco Spymitos. So it still might be worth picking up as a collector if you can. All right, guys. So it's about that time. It's about that time. My live streams go for an hour because I talk so damn much. I need to go get some lunch. I need to lubricate the vocal cords so I can continue to make content. But I want to say thank you guys for making it another successful Saturday live stream. I definitely appreciate it. I hope to see you here in the Discord. So again, Discord's for channel members. If you want to join the Discord, you just have to be a channel member one time. Get the link in the YouTube channel, join the Discord. You can post pictures, ask questions, do some regular conversing. You can get the Steel Snobs comparison tool if that's what you want. Make sure to check that out. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for joining in. The next time I'm going live is going to be Wednesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. There we go. And then, of course, every Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Get out of here. Go enjoy the sun. Enjoy some good times. And as always, I will catch you on the flip side.